Hello everybody and welcome back to another My Porch Prints tutorials. This is Kyra and today we are going to be putting together this little Valentine coupon book that is in our shop right now. The assembly is really simple, but we wanted to go ahead and just show you how it's done in case there's any confusion. So let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at our materials. So I've gone ahead and printed out all of the pages out on cardstock here. This isn't every single page because I didn't want this project to take too long, so I've only printed a few, including the cover and several different coupons. And I also printed out just a few of the blank ones so I could show you that you can create your own coupons if you want to. Alright, so next I went ahead and assembled this book already just a little bit to kind of show you what it would look like when it's done. And we've gone ahead and printed all of these out only on the front. We didn't print anything on the back, but if you wanted to, you could definitely get some decorative papers to use for that. And I've also gone ahead and created some perforations here just to show you two different ways of doing it. So one of these, we went ahead and used our sewing machine without any thread to just sew it through and create several little holes. And on the other, we used a perforation tool. So I'll show you what that looks like here in just a second, but there are two different methods you can use if you don't have it. So the perforation tool looks like this, and it has this little safety here, and all you have to do is sort of slide that down to reveal like the little blades, and then you just roll it over your page following the perforation lines that are already on the print, and it's as simple as that. But again, if you don't have that tool, feel free to use your sewing machine if you want to create like a little perforation here, and it'll work just the same way to allow you to tear the page out. Alright, and next we're going to talk about like how we actually assembled them. For this one, this little example I made, I used little brads for this, and all I did was take a micro hole punch and just punch a couple of holes out. You could also use like a needle or an awl if you don't have that. But if you wanted to use something else, you could also use eyelets and an eyelet punch, and this would also secure them in case maybe they're a little too thick for your brads. And if you wanted them to flip, like a little easier, you could also use some rings to make it like a ring bound little booklet of coupons. But for this example, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with these little brads that I have right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started by cutting all of these little coupons out. And when that's done, for mine, I had like a little bit of white showing on these corners here. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a little corner rounding punch, and that looks like this. And I'm just going to round all of those corners off. You don't have to do it, but it's entirely optional, but I think it just makes it look a little more finished. So that's what I'm going to do. And it should look like that when done. Alright, so now that you've got them all cut out, it doesn't really matter what order they go in, you can do whatever you'd like. Just make sure that the coupon book part goes on the front. Alright, and now we are going to punch our holes, and for that there is this page with these extra coupons on it, but it also has this guide. And so we're going to cut this guide out and use it to punch our holes to keep everything nice and even. Alright, so now that I have that cut out, all you have to do is line it up with the top of your coupon book. So I'm going to take just a handful, like a couple of these coupons, not too many so it's not too hard to punch through. And then just line the top of the guide up with the top of your coupons. And as long as you keep everything fairly aligned, it should work pretty simple. So just following those holes, go ahead and punch them out using whichever hole punch method works for you. And if you wanted to, you could also use like a clamp to like hold the guide in place if that makes it a little simpler for you. And then you should just be able to go stack by stack, taking a little at a time, following that same process of lining the guide up at the top. And as long as you are pretty close, they should match fairly well. Alright, so now that we have all of our holes punched out, we can go ahead and remove the cover because we don't need to perforate it, and perforate all the rest of the coupons. So I'm taking a piece of cardboard here so I don't accidentally cut the table, and I'm just going to be using that little perforation tool to run it along that line, and that should create little dashes, little cuts that'll allow this page to tear out really easily. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that for all of these. Again, this is an optional process. or you could use a sewing machine, entirely up to you. Alright, and to finish it, I'm just gonna add my little brads through those holes that we punched. And if you wanted to, you could put something on the back to cover them, like a piece of paper or something like that, just to hide it, some ribbon, anything like that. Alright, so that should finish our assembly for our little coupon book for Valentine's Day. So I hope you got lots of inspiration for this and that this helps you have a lovely evening with someone special. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye!